Well, here we are. It's August 24th. Getting a little first kind of cold spell. I mean, not cold. Overnight lows in the 50s. And daytime high might not even break 70 a couple times this week. I'm going to start off. I've never seen this. It looks like that. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It's like that. The vine is actually growing into the, that's like hard. That's part of the butternut squash, but I don't know what's, hey, squash bugs. This late in the year, I don't worry about the squash bugs. The plants are on their way out anyway, but I don't know what's going on with that. Got a nice rampicante going on over there. So anyway, we're starting to get our first taste of fall. This is that time of year where some things are just starting to flourish and really come on and produce, like peppers and okra. Other things are kind of full and kind of in their peak right now, like tomatoes, and they might start to stop producing. You got things like these squash. These are planted a little late, so they still look okay, but a lot of squash, if you planted them back in June or even May, they're starting to look a little worn out. The pears, heavy pruning. We didn't have many pears this year. I guess we'll go over here first. I still haven't gotten rid of my old fig tree that died. Peaches are all picked. We had another split. This tree, we had a split a few years ago because we didn't pick enough and we had some high wind. And then somebody didn't thin the peaches out this year, so we had another split. So nature's kind of pruning that one for me. But we had all these braces set up because the branches were so loaded down and heavy. But you can see they're all kind of, they aren't really drooping anymore. Not even at the top. There were some peaches left at the top of the tree. Oh, what's going on here? So I'm gonna have to get more aggressive prune. Oh, is that our last peach? Boy, I might have to eat that one. That might be the last peach. I don't see any others. But what I was saying is I'm gonna have to get more aggressive pruning the outside or the ends of the branches. They're getting too long and they're too much weight on the ends. And encourage that interior growth, but a lot of times the interior branches just kind of die. But I'm going to take this last peach before it falls off. I'll eat that in a little bit. So we've got our wall of something. Oh, got some nice tomatoes coming in there. I guess that's one way to view it. Up in the beans, we did have a bird's nest. I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't want to bother them too much. We have got some, we'll get another view, but we've got several sunflowers that are leased. Oh wow. With as small as those squares are, I'm surprised they even made it through. And that's the risk you run. We let the volunteer tomatoes come in, but they're these small, tiny cherry tomatoes. They don't taste that great, and it's hard to do a lot with them. But anyway, I pruned the pears heavy this year because they're getting too tall, and a lot of the taller branches where the blossoms were. The trees look good, but we didn't have a ton of fruit. And we're almost done. There's still some on there, that'll be good. But the peaches are done, they're picked. They can relax now, get all that weight off their branches. All right, so let's go back here. That's where we started. Various mints, kales, rhubarb, basil, more basil, mint, asparagus, ground cherries. See, I don't know what's going on with these okra leaves. Maybe it got too cold. Somebody did something to them they don't like. But basically is some green pepper, nothing too. I'll stop if there's anything exciting. We got these pretty cherry tomatoes. I think they're the midnight snacks. And then we got my favorite, the Sun Sugars. Take one right now. Oh, fell down. I'm not gonna grab it right yet. A lot of the kale, both the dinosaur kale and the Russian red, has been, the bugs are getting to it. And now these are some nice looking tomatoes when they get ripe. I think those are German striped, maybe, I don't know. I planted some great white tomatoes this year. That's a nice looking ground cherry bush. That one might be ready to eat right there. I might take that one right now. I planted some German striped tomatoes. And great white tomatoes. First year I've ever had white tomatoes. I want to see how they look. This trellis, just a disclaimer, a lot of the stuff that went on in the garden wasn't my choice. Last year I had this full of beans and squash. This year you can see kind of underutilized. Over there is where we could have used it. That's where I had beans. Also, look how tall those tomatoes, those cherry tomato plants will get. Those are cherry tomato plants up there. That's, I don't know, almost 10 feet tall. There's more sun sugars. Got marigolds all over the place. I'll take you. You look like you're about ready. With these things, even if they're not fully ripe, they're still so sweet. I think this is a great white tomato. We'll see how they come in. Some nice China jade. I'm sorry, Jing orange okra. Fuji. Still getting the hang of trimming my apple trees. I gotta trim them and spray them. I don't know what's going on with apple trees. I think there's some fire blight or something. Got some. This is our main pepper patch. These are all all peppers. We got some eggplant there. Nice color. Nice color. Got some of the long ones and then the traditional blob-shaped one. More peppers. Well, those are the golden cayenne. They've probably been picking them before they get gold. Hopefully, we'll see what they look like when they're gold. But first year we grew the Big Jim pepper. There's one right there. Look at that thing. That one looks like it's about maybe 8. Gotta prop you up, man. Bell peppers, they get so heavy. Peppers, beans. Yeah, we got lots of tomatoes starting to come in. We already did some picking. Got a lot more tomatoes there. Ready? Some nice size. Okay. So let's reorient. We came in there. We just walked around there. Peppers, tomatoes, more peppers. That's a lot where the green stuff is, like kale and bok choy and other things. The ground cherries, some beans. Oh, let's look at the dragon tongue beans. Just like they do in the pictures. Oh, we got some. This is my prime. I'll have to save seeds from this bush. This thing we've already, I don't know how many I've already picked, and it's got a lot more on it. And some nice sized, nice looking tomatoes too. All right, let's go on here. There's my recent planting of beans. They're just starting to put some tiny beans on. Let's see. Oh, there's one right there. Peppers. Now here's some more. I've got several, like I said, several 12-foot sunflowers. The bees love them. Bees love them. More tomatoes. Now that's how you do a trellis. You can't even see the trellis because it's so full. That's how I like them. More. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep it moving, Nick. Just more tomatoes. A lot of them. I'm not sure, or I can't remember what they are. So I know there's some white tomatoes here behind me, I believe. I got a pumpkin that broke off the. Where is it? Oh, right there. You can see it broke off, so that's not good. But I think at least one or two of these are white, great white tomatoes as well. But this year what we did is Athena and I, we threw down a bunch of tomato seeds, and I think they're the big, just big red tomatoes. Oh, there we go. Came in fast. I'm gonna eat this one. So small and tender. I'll let it grow. So those beans, tried some different beans this year. Long beans. If this wall of beans is starting to produce, you can see them, mostly the long purple beans. So that's a lot of beans. More okra, ground cherries, a few pepper plants in there, more tomatoes. There's big tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, but there's like 10 slicer sized tomatoes in there. I still don't know what a lot of the squash is. We planted volunteer squash all over the place. This one looks like it's going to be butternut. There's a candy roaster. A couple little butternuts coming in. I got a monster. I think, see that there's a spot where all my leaves got taken out. And I think it's because I got a monster green stripe coming in. But yeah, the squash plants are, I don't know if I'd say on their last legs. Some of them definitely are. The heat, the bugs, just their age, the competition. Next year I've been using this and that for squash for so long, so next year I'm gonna rehab those a little bit. I'll use these all for peppers, and probably peppers, tomatoes, okra, things like that. I did want to highlight a few. This is the first year I planted, look at that, isn't that pretty? Cool. This is the first year I planted golden amaranth. So we're gonna try and harvest. Before I just grew it because I like how it looked, but this year I think I have enough that I can harvest it and actually add it to my food. It's supposed to be pretty healthy. But I always like to add color and variety to the garden. We got some soybeans, more long beans, some squash hidden in there, little marigolds tucked in there, some tomatoes, there's the jujube trees. So looking back here, that's where we're up top on that hill with the rows. We just came down there, looked at those two sides. Lots of color and variety. I love it. I love it. And height too. From here, if I was standing next to them, I'm over 6 feet tall. You'd see how tall these things are. They make me look tiny. There's more beans, peppers. Look at that wall of long beans coming in. It's a lot of good eating there. Some more little amaranth. And then, if you can look, the grapes are starting to turn purple. I don't know if I want to pick and try one yet or wait until I know they're ready. Because I've never had a grape. I planted these last year. They were just sticks at the time. I got some nice looking butternut squash. A couple of nice. Might have some nice I used the same. I actually went to Tractor Supply and got the same seeds I used last year because I was so impressed with them last year. It's so easy to save butternut, but look at these. Like I said, you guys are lucky. I'm not going to take you out. I don't like killing things, and I think the squash are pretty much, you guys aren't going to take out this, time's going to take out the squash before you guys do. I went through about 3 rounds of squash bug removal. And the last one, I just used a bucket of water, and man, I had a couple hundred in there by the time I was done, probably 500. Hard to count them when they're so small. There's a nice looking one right there. That's the color, shape, that's going to be a great one. Okay, so yeah, there's looking back on the squash patch. I mean, it still looks good with the amaranth and the sunflowers and the trellising and all the beans. Looks so vibrant, healthy green. I love it. I tried potting a few peppers this year. They seem to be doing just as well as the things that I didn't pot. There's a couple late edition squashed. We'll see if they have time where some of the earlier plants died or got taken out by vine borers. I'm not sure. But we'll see if they have enough time to produce anything this year. Got some more heart-shaped Lecia peppers. Need to start picking those. There's a green stripe. That's not as big as the other one over there. That's not a bad specimen. All right, so then let's come over here. Come over here. Some nice tomatoes in there. It's always harder to see them on camera with your own eyes. But again, some of the plants still look pretty healthy and vibrant, but you're definitely seeing a lot of yellowing, some stalks collapsing, and there weren't even that many bugs over here. There's some bug damage like there. That's a bug damage. But I don't know what happened to that circle there. Got some tomatoes I could go eat over there, some more sun golds. Yeah, those grapes, I just planted them last year, two of them. They came, bare root, just looked like a couple sticks. And now a year later, I got so many grapevines, I don't know what to do with them. A couple more huge sunflowers. All the raspberries, we probably had the best. We had a great production year for blackberries. There's still a few left here and there. But, oh, look at the bees. The bees love it. The bees love sunflowers. Instead of like tomatoes or beans, the tiny flowers, they land and then they take off, then they land and take off. They get up there in those sunflowers, they can land and just crawl around on those, doing their thing for several minutes before they even think about flying away. Okay, so the 4 rows of blackberries over there. There's a few more left, but pretty much the only thing left there to do is trim. We're gonna have a nice squash harvest. We still got lots of tomatoes coming in, lots of beans to pick. Our sunflower seeds, of course, we'll choose the best heads and put netting over them to keep some from the birds. Seems like I'm gonna have more Long Island cheese pumpkins this year than last. See if we can find a good one of those. Oh, there's a couple right by each other. That gives you a good idea of the shape. Shaped like a wheel of cheese, so-called cheese pumpkins, but lots of those. They seem a lot more bug resistant than the pie pumpkins. But yeah, look at those. Look at those sunflowers. Well, those amaranth, they're probably 7.5, 8 feet tall. At least. So you can see those tall sunflowers are close to 12. I'm sure of it. And look at the bees. How nice it must be. It's like a drone. Like when you're flying a drone, you think how nice it'd be just to zoom up and access things or get a bird's eye view of everything. Alright, so I think that's it for the lower garden. The main squash patch. Over there was the overflow squash and tomato. This one might be bagged. Probably have some good seeds from there. Yeah, every one of these sunflower heads seems like has at least 1 or 2 bees on it. That's a nice picture there. Some more amaranth tucked in. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can actually still navigate those. 1, 2, 3, 4. The back's a mess though. This tree that's leaning quite heavily. Oh, we didn't. Let's update the Chinese chestnut tree. Okay, that's straightening up a little bit. Finally tied it to a support. It was sagging over. Okay, that's getting up there. That's probably a good 9, almost 10, 9.5, 10 feet tall. That one, we gotta get it to straighten up a little bit. It is getting better though. That top branch was dropped over sideways for the longest time. Seems to be getting better. Okay, so I think that's about it. Pretty much just harvesting. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Either cover, oh. Looks like maybe Mom's been transplanting strawberries. Oh, maybe from up there. I don't know if we'll do cover crops there or what. It's pretty much just gonna be harvesting beans, peppers, tomatoes, okra. Berries are done, peaches are done, pretty much. Pears are done. Peaches are done. I got the last one in my pocket, right here. Pears are pretty much done. We'll harvest sunflowers, tomatoes, like I said, amaranth. Boy, the wind's gonna take out. I know the wind's gonna take some of those out eventually. All our squash, of course. Grapes. Blueberries, of course, are long done. So soybeans, ground cherries will keep. Some things, you know, they grow and then you harvest them and they're done, kind of like the squash, especially winter squash. So those will, you know, we'll harvest those in a month maybe. The sunflower seeds, same thing. Amaranth, same thing. But the beans, more beans here. I mean, if you do it dry bean style, then you just let them grow, then you harvest them at the end and they're done. Looks like we're gonna do that with a lot of those. But the tomatoes, the beans that you aren't gonna dry, you know, and the okra, peppers, you just keep harvesting right up until we get a freeze and everything kill. Oh, looks like I did lose an amaranth. Whoops. I'm gonna have to go tie that up or something. Look at that, it fell, it laser, it's laying right down. Oh, I can tie that right to that cage. I'll have to go get some string. So, as I was saying, we'll harvest. All our end of the year harvest stuff will be hopefully not for another month. It's August 24th now, so our first frost is September 24th. That still gives us another month. In the meanwhile, we'll be enjoying lots of okra and beans and tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, ground cherries. But that's where we came in. We're back to the beginning now. Right there, so one last look. Someday we'll look back at this and hopefully we'll see trees loaded with apples. We'll see maturing chestnut trees. Oh boy, groundhog. I just stepped. Some groundhog got in here and went nuts. We'll get the blackberries under control. They do great every year. But it's been a good year. Harvested lots of food so far. Freezer full of stuff. Lots more to come, so we might have to actually buy another freezer. Let's take a quick look at it. We might have to get another freezer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we'll have to tie you up, see? Just fell right over. It's laying on top of that squash. But I can tie it right to this thing. So I will get some string and take care of that. We'll do some harvesting later on. Put some videos up of that maybe. And at this point I'm just rambling, so oh, let's go look. I tried to plant some popcorn for Athena this year, but I had like 20 seeds, only one of them sprouted. And those are, I don't know if popcorn ears are always that tiny or the plants, just because the plant's tiny. I don't know if it's supposed to be that tiny, but it's actual popcorn, not sweet corn. There's a nice okra. But yeah, ground cherries, the ground cherries, the borage. There's borage, ground cherries, borage. So many just volunteer. Tomatoes, squash. So many volunteers this year. It's great. Okay, so we came in. We'll sweep one last time. And I think that's about it. Can't really get very many sweeping shots from here. Too many big things in the way. Now we do need to burn that, but last time I was over there, there's tons of grasshoppers. I don't want to burn grasshoppers. There we go. That's a better. We'll do the panoramic here. We'll start with the compost pile, and we'll move over to the pumpkins, with the squash patch and the beans and the grapes and the blueberries, the sunflowers, the blackberries, apple trees, chestnut trees. We just walked up there. All the great sunflowers, the main squash plant patch, the overflow patch. That's it. Happy farming, happy garden. I can't say farming. I'm not a farmer, I don't think. I don't qualify for that. But happy gardening, everybody.